What is the most fascinating origin story I've ever encountered? I wouldn't hesitate to answer immediately. It's the story of man's best friend, the dog. The incredible journey of an ancient predator into the countless breeds we love today. The details of this transformation have captivated me and followed me into my research for a very long time. It's a story that starts with ancient wolves, stretches across millennia, and involves a partnership that literally changed the course of human history. All of this forms the most captivating evolution I've ever looked into. Today, join me as we turn back the pages of time once more. Let me tell you the parts of the story we have unexplored before and analyze the deep genetic history to better understand what truly happened. This video will contain many surprising details that might change how you see your furry friend. If you're not ready, perhaps save this video for another day. Hello, I'm your host, and you can easily find bits and pieces of this story all over the internet because it's so fundamental to our history. Today, I'll summarize the events from my own perspective and hope to give everyone the most comprehensive overview of this incredible journey. Let's begin. The story begins over 10,000 years ago, a time when our ancestors were still living as hunter-gatherers. Our main character in this story isn't a single dog, but an entire species, beginning its incredible journey of diversification. A recent study published in the journal Science has shed new light on this ancient history. Researchers, by sequencing the DNA from 27 ancient dog remains, some dating back nearly 11,000 years, have uncovered a truly astonishing fact. By that point in history, long before the rise of ancient Egypt or the Roman Empire, there were already at least 5 distinct and different lineages of dogs spread across the globe. Think about that for a moment. This wasn't a single type of early dog that looked the same everywhere. No, even in the Stone Age, you could find a New Guinea singing dog, a Siberian husky, a Chihuahua, an African Basenji, and a golden retriever, all living in different parts of the world, each with its own unique genetic signature. This discovery completely reshapes our understanding of canine history, suggesting that the diversification of dogs is a much older and more complex process than we ever imagined. It implies that almost as soon as dogs became dogs, they started to change, adapt, and specialize in remarkable ways. The period just after the last ice age, around 11,000 years ago, was a critical turning point. This is when we see the first clear evidence of these 5 distinct ancestral lines. There was a lineage in the Near East, one in the Americas, one in Siberia, one in New Guinea, and another that seems to have been widespread across Europe. Each of these groups was genetically different from the others. For example, the dogs found in Europe from this period, like those from Germany and Ireland, were descendants of a single, shared European ancestry. However, as we move forward in time, the picture becomes much more mixed and fascinating. One of the most intriguing findings from this research is how these ancient dog populations moved and mingled, often mirroring the migrations of human populations. It's a story told not in ancient texts, but in the very fabric of their DNA. For example, early European dogs, which were once a genetically uniform group, began to show a dramatic shift. A new type of dog ancestry, originating from the Near East, started to appear. This wasn't a random event. This genetic mixing coincided with the spread of agriculture from the Near East into Europe. It seems that as early farmers migrated westward, they didn't just bring seeds and livestock. They brought their dogs with them. These Near Eastern dogs didn't just arrive, they thrived. Over thousands of years, they began to replace the original European dog populations. By about 4,000 years ago, the genetic signature of those first European dogs had almost completely vanished, replaced by the descendants of the newcomers. This is a powerful testament to the deep connection between humans and dogs. Our histories are not just parallel, they are interwoven. Where humans went, their dogs went with them, and the success of a human group often meant the success of their canine companions. The story in East Asia tells a different tale, one of stability and continuity. While Europe was a melting pot of dog genetics, the dogs in places like Siberia, China, it suggests that the human populations in these regions were more settled, or that their interactions with other groups did lead to the same kind of large-scale dog replacement seen in Europe. The ancient dogs from Siberia, for instance, share a direct and unbroken lineage with modern breeds like the Siberian Husky and the Alaskan Malamute. Their genes tell a story of incredible adaptation to cold, harsh environments, a legacy that has been passed down for millennia. But how did this all start? The ultimate origin of the dog, the very first wolf that decided to cast its lot with humans, is still one of science's most compelling mysteries. This new study, while revealing so much about what happened asterisk after asterisk domestication, doesn't pinpoint a single location or time for that first event. In fact, the data suggests that the common ancestor of all dogs, both ancient and modern, lived sometime between 17,000 and 24,000 years ago. This ancestor was a population of ancient, now extinct wolves. It's crucial to understand that dogs were not domesticated from the grey wolves we see today. Instead, both modern dogs and modern grey wolves share a common, long-lost wolf ancestor. They are more like cousins than parent and child. This deep ancestral connection is fascinating. It means that somewhere during the coldest part of the last ice age, one or more groups of these ancient wolves began a relationship with human hunter-gatherers. Was it a single event in one place, or did it happen multiple times independently across the world? The jury is still out. The complexity of the 5 ancient lineages found 11,000 years ago could support either theory. Perhaps a single domestication event was followed by a rapid, explosive diversification as dogs spread with humans across the globe. Or perhaps different groups of wolves were domesticated in different regions, leading to these distinct early lineages. Dr. Pontus Skoglund, a co-author of the study, aptly notes that the history of dogs is a mirror of human history. The genetic data from these ancient dogs provides a new tool for archaeologists and historians. By tracing the movements and mixtures of dog populations, we can infer the movements and interactions of human groups that may have left no other trace in the archaeological record. For example, the study found a fascinating connection between dogs in Sweden and Syria, suggesting a previously unknown path of cultural or trade exchange. The dogs are like genetic breadcrumbs, leading us down the forgotten trails of our own ancestors. The journey of the dog from an ancient wolf to the diverse companions we know today is a story of coevolution. It's a partnership that benefited both sides. For humans, dogs provided protection, assistance in hunting, and companionship. For dogs, humans provided a stable source of food and shelter, allowing them to spread and thrive across every continent except Antarctica. This partnership was so successful that it resulted in the incredible diversity we see today, from the tiniest Chihuahua, whose ancestors hail from the Americas, to the majestic Great Dane, with roots in European hunting dogs. All of them, every single one, carries a piece of this ancient 11,000-year-old story within their DNA. Their barks are echoes from the Stone Age, and their loyalty is a legacy of a bond forged in the ice and fire of the prehistoric world. Understanding this incredible history doesn't just teach us about dogs. It teaches us about ourselves and the long shared journey that has brought us to where we are today.